Swole Benji here. Today I'm going to teach you the fastest possible start to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel and what this is going to achieve on your very first day, your first 20 hours of playing this game. You are going to have over $350 worth of the currency, which will allow you to build any deck that you want, multiple copies of top decks in the game, the rarest cards, you name it, but it's also going to have you speedrun the single player mode to get all of the rewards and to speedrun getting to rank 4 in gold, all on your very first day. So let's get into it. So this is a free-to-play game that's on Steam right now, completely free. It's a very fast download. It takes almost, like, any computer can run this game. And what you're going to do is once you open the game, it's going to give you a choice of 3 decks. You can choose any of the decks, it doesn't matter, we won't be using them. I chose Synchro of Unity, which is a very confusing deck to play. If you haven't played this game recently, or if all you've done is watch the first season of the anime, this deck will be very confusing for you, but we're not going to be using it anyway. You can also choose Link Generation, which is also kind of confusing, and then there's Power of the Dragon, which is very simple. This is kind of sort of like a deck that Kaiba would use in the anime, but it's okay because we also get something called the starting deck, which is what we will be using for the single player grind, which is the first thing that you should do. So, as soon as you start the game, pick your deck, it doesn't matter which one, Link, Synchro, Power of the Dragon, and then you're going to head over to the solo section here. This is the single player little missions, and what these reward you big time. So you're going to do the tutorial, you're going to do the duel strategy, and then you get to the main story, which starts with the Absolute Monarch. So you would click that, click play, and this is how you're going to progress through the single player missions. Scenario is just a cutscene, you can skip it, you get the rewards. Practice teaches you how to play the loner decks you will be using against the computer. So, your very first story mission will be Duel. So you click this, and it will default to this tab that says Loner Deck, okay? You can also look at your opponent's deck if you know the card game, and you can see what you're up against, and you can plan accordingly, though it doesn't really matter, okay? So, when you're using a Loner Deck, it's a deck, you can click on it, it'll show you the cards you will be using for the battle. And you might have to do some reading because as you progress through the story, these cards can get a little confusing if you're a new player or you haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! In many years, right? But regardless, a lot of the earlier missions you can just kind of button mash through. You don't have to do too much reading if you don't want to. Some of them do require a bit of starting hand luck. Not all of them, though. But you definitely want to get through these, and it can take time. Sometimes you might be stuck on a loner mission, and if you get frustrated, that's okay. Just move on. And to move on, you would click My Deck, okay? And you also get rewards for this, so I highly recommend going through and doing all of the My Deck missions too. But when you click My Deck, you're going to you're going to go to Change Deck. It might default to Synchro of Unity or whatever you picked at the start, but you want to click the deck that says Starting Deck. You want to use this one, and this one, the reason why you want to use it is the deck best built to take on the single player missions up until near the end. And the reason why you want to also use this is because you won't really have anything else unless you start spending the gems, which you don't want to do yet, and I'll explain why later. But by using this deck, it gives the computer missions, like your AI opponents, the most trouble. And as you play through single player, you will acquire more cards, and there are 5 cards you want to add to this deck. That's why it has 45 cards instead of 40. You want to add Raigeki, which destroys all monsters on the field, and it's limited to 1. You want to add Monster Reborn, and you want to add 3 Marmiting Captains. You get this very early on in the story, so go ahead and add these to your deck, and then you're all set. And you're completely set to play through the single-player missions until the very end. Now, I also want to talk about a few other things, too. As you play, you will see these locked gates, which on my game, they're already unlocked. You have to pay like a currency to unlock them, which is you get from the single-player missions. And this currency is only used in single-player missions and nowhere else, so feel free to use them. But don't worry about these right now. These are actually very difficult. Not only are they difficult for the loner deck, you get currency that you won't even be using currently in the game, unless they add more missions later on, which you never know. You might have to go back and beat these with the loner deck. But when you use My Deck, you get these rewards, these Legacy Pack tickets, and that's going to help you later. And you also get 200 gemstones on other missions as well. So let me see if this one has a gemstone reward. That's the main thing that we're going to be doing, but we're not going to be using the starting deck for this. You're going to beat most of the single-player missions and come back to this so that you can speedrun this and get these 200 gem rewards. Those are huge, right? That's like $4 worth of currency, okay? Every 50 gems is basically $1, for those that don't know. But essentially, you're going to play through the single-player mission all the way through until you get to Legend of the Star Heroes, which is the final stretch. And then you're gonna completely beat Chosen by the World Legacy, okay? When you get to Gift of the Martyr, this is where things get extremely in-game difficult, okay? At this point, like, I still have not beaten the Loner deck mission because it's so insane. The way it's set up is that these missions, you're given a really crappy Loner deck against a very strong opponent. At this point, you're going to completely stop playing the single player and you're going to start making some purchases. So you're going to completely back out of solo mode because at this point, your starter deck and your loner decks are no longer cutting it for anyone of us with a sane mind, okay? And at this point, we're going to begin speedrunning the rest of the solo missions. So to do this, you're going to go to shop, and you're going to have a lot of gems by this point. Once you reach this point in the game, you're probably going to be setting about 6,000 gems, and in your gift box, you're going to be setting on about 5,000 more. And in your completed missions tab, that's another 3,000 to 4,000. You're going to have tons, okay? The mission one might be a little bit off, but it's okay. You still have not done a single PvP match with another real human yet at this point, okay? I just want to point that out. So you're going to go to shop, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to go to special. I'm sorry, no. You're going to go to bundle deal. Yeah, bundle deal here in the left side. And you're going to buy these 3. Okay, so what this is 10 packs of the master, what is this? The master pack, which is basically almost all the cards in the game. It's also going to give you the free, really good, limited use cards. Now, these only cost 750 gems. Normally, 10 packs of cards cost you 1,000 gems, okay? And you're going to have plenty to spend, okay? So buy these 3 bundle packs, right? And they're going to give you some pretty good cards, but don't worry about that. Now, whenever you are buying packs, you only want to buy packs in counts of 10, okay? Now, here's another thing, too. Before you begin, go to bonus pack, and if you've earned any tickets, which I don't know if you have at this point, you might have some. I think the game might give you some by default, but spend all of these in 10s, okay? They only give 2 cards per pack. They're not really that great, but it will get you started, okay? At this point, this is where things get slightly more complicated, okay? So, at this point, you want to build a Nurse Burn deck. And I know that this is where people are going to be like, oh, I don't want to play Nurse Burn. I want to play dragons. I want to play dragon maids. Woo, anime girls, right? No. The reason you want to play... I'm going to tell you right now the reasons why you want to play Nurse Burn. Nurse Burn will allow you to just speedrun the rest of all of the single-player missions. You will be able to beat the CPU down in 1 to 2 minutes per match, instead of the 10 to 15 it takes to beat a CPU if you're skipping all the animations and clicking through all the thinking stages, right? This basically allows you to win on turn 1, turn 2, maybe turn 4 if you're unlucky. Most of the time against the CPU, and if you get a bad draw, you just restart the match because it's against the CPU. And with cards, I know I'm not going to explain too much on how these cards work, but like try and guess, you don't have to try and guess. You can see the computer's deck before you can play, so you can just always make the right call if you want to use this card. Sometimes the computer decks don't even have Fusion Synchro or XYZ. They just have links or nothing at all, in which case you would use your drawing cards to get rid of these for more useful cards, okay? But let me tell you, for those that haven't played a Nurse Burn deck or know Yu-Gi-Oh! Too well, Nurse Burn essentially attacks your opponent's life points directly by healing them, but using a Nurse card here, or the Bad Reactions to Samochi card to turn your healing into damage. And this allows you to one-turn kill your opponent. It also allows you to have all of the card draw necessary to kill your opponent. So here's how you're going to build this deck, okay? With those packs that you bought, and you could also buy some more packs at this point, when you go to the shop here, this is what you'll do too. Once you buy those special bundles, you would go to normal pack, and you would go to master pack, okay? And you buy them in packs of 10, but you want to make sure that you can always afford 2 packs of 10, and here's why. Okay, so if I buy a 10 pack and I do not get an ultra rare, then I will be guaranteed an ultra rare on the next 10 packs. So you want to always have a minimum 2,000 gems on hand at any time, okay? Never dip below 2,000, all right? And buy as many of these as you want, it's fine. I bought 14 packs of it, and I'll tell you, I didn't get a single card that came in the that's required for Nurse Burn. And there are other Nurse Burn builds out there, you can Google it. This is the one that I use for 0-turn kills. It's also the simplest and most brain-dead fastest, easiest to use, and I think it's the most reliable. But that's just me. So what you're going to do is you would click each card, and what you can do is you can click how to obtain, and it'll tell you the card packs that they come in. Like, Deceitful Wings of Darkness, this comes in it. I don't have it unlocked. I know how to unlock it. I unlocked it yesterday. You have to craft an ultra rare that would be in this pack, and then that allows you to buy these packs for 24 hours. But there's only like 2 or 3 cards from the Deceitful Wings of Darkness booster packs that I would need. The rest come from either Legacy. Like, I think these are all Legacy. No, these are just regular Master Pack, okay? The majority of the cards in this set will require you to buy the Master Pack. The Star Walt Force, you don't want to buy that because you won't get any of the other cards you may need. But the point is you're not going to be trying to get all of these cards through booster packs. That would be insanity, okay? Don't do that. No, what you're going to be doing is you're just going to have a ton of cards from your booster packs that you will be able to break down, and I'm going to teach you how to do that in the most efficient way, okay? And don't be afraid to break down cards that you may never use. Like, me personally, I don't like using these big, fat, thick monsters that require fusions and require this and that and special summoning. I hate playing that kind of decks, so I'm never going to use the 5-headed dragon, okay? Like, I don't need this dragon, right? I can't dismantle it, though, because it's from another pack. But what you're going to do is you're going to look through... I'm going to go ahead and go over the cards real quick. Dark Lord Nurse of Reficule, that's 3 of them. Condemned Witch, that's 3 of them. 1 Upstart Goblin. 1 Card of Demise. I'm actually thinking about adding more of those. They're really useful. 3 Magical Mallets. 3 Dark World Dealings. 1 Into the Void. 3 Pot of Duality. 3 Pot of Desires, 3 Banishment of the Dark Lords, 3 Reloads, 2 Hand Destructions, 3 Paths of Destiny, 3 Gift Cards, 3 Try and Guesses, and you can, if you're having bad luck in duels, you can swap this out. It's the most frustrating card. It's also ultra rare, so if you can't afford this, you could skip this one, but it can make the difference a lot. I rely on this card a lot to win, and when I guess wrong, I lose. And that's fine. And then 3 bad reactions to Samochi. You also need just 1 Fusion, 1 XYZ, or 1 Synchro card. It doesn't matter what it is. I just chose this one because it's got a lot of numbers, okay? This is never used. You just have to have it in your extra deck, okay? And so here's how you're going to be able to craft the cards. So let's say I want to craft the ultra rares. So, like, say I don't own an Upstart Goblin. It costs 3 ultra rares to craft. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sort by rarity by clicking this button to sort down so all my ultra rares appear at the top. I'm going to click this icon to make it show 1 single card, which means it will only show me owned cards, okay? Then I'm going to scroll through and I'm going to look for all of the cards that shimmer or shine. So you see these 2 right here? This, what is this? This first Dark Lord. This shimmers and shines. And if I dismantle it, I get 15 ultra rare craft points, okay? Whereas if I just dismantled a regular card, I only get 10. So I'd have to dismantle 3 ultra rares to be able to craft 1, or just 2 of these shiny ones. And the way the shininess works is you have like the silver ones, and then you have like the holographic ones. If you find a holographic one that has like a rainbow shimmer to it, then that one will dismantle at 30. So you want to look for all of those, right? I don't know if I own any ultra limited edition holographic ultra rares. I don't really remember. I probably broke them all down. Then you go to super rares and you craft all the ones that you want. So like say I have 60, ultra rare craft points and I needed to make the try and guess. Well, then I click generate. I will lose 30 craft points and I will have 1 try and guess. So I would continue dismantling cards that I never want or never use. And like, you may not know what you want to use or what you may not want to use in the future. That's up to you to figure out. But like, I can look at this card, this Race Liger. I think it looks stupid. Actually, no, it's kind of cool looking. I thought it was something else. Yeah, this is a cool looking card. I want to keep that, right? But let's pick another one. What about this thing? Blackluster Soldier? Well, that's in the anime. I don't want to get rid of that. Ash Blossom, this is an amazing card. Almost every deck has these in in-game high, like ranked battles. I definitely don't want to get rid of that one, okay? And I fought an Eldritch of the Golden Lord card, and I think it's really good, so I'm not going to get rid of that one either. Blue Eyes White Dragon, ugh. You know what? Who cares about Kaiba, right? I would dismantle this, because I'm not going to make a dragon deck. I don't want to play a Blue Eyes White Dragon. And, yeah, screw Kaiba, right? So, I would use these. Well, I can't dismantle it anyway. Bad example. My bad, guys. But if I could, I would dismantle it. You want to dismantle the shiny ones first if you never plan to use them. And then, once you craft all your ultra rares, go to your super rares. That's the SRs. Scroll down and look for all the SRs with the shiny shimmer. So, none there. So, keep scrolling. Still no shimmery ones. And if you can't find any shimmery ones, like here's one. I actually use this in my deck though, so I wouldn't dismantle this. But if I did, it's plus 30, right? Because it's a holographic one, right? Now I hate XYZ summoning, so I would probably get rid of these. Dismantle these, and then you just craft this deck. You craft this specific deck, and I'm going to tell you more so why you would do that. But once you have this deck, you have it named, you have it saved, it's all crafted, it's ready to go. And you're going to just speed run the hell out of the rest of the solo missions, especially the side ones, and you're going to open the gates and blow those out of the water too. And once you have all of the single player missions completed, you don't have to do all the loner ones at this point. You will have so many heckin' gems, guys. You'll have so many gems. But this deck will allow you to beat the final duel missions extremely easy in just 1 to 2 minutes. Once you're at this point, by playing the single-player missions, you're going to learn how to play Nurse Burn, okay? At first, it's a little confusing, but essentially, you either top deck the draw, you draw through your cards to get the required things or whatnot, and then once you've done that and you've learned it, then you go to Duel, okay? You go to Duel, and this is against other players, and you go to Ranked Duel. Don't worry about Ranked, don't worry about your win-loss ratios. Like, this resets in 2 days, and then I'm going to be back to, like Bronze 5, and I can grind it all over again. You can safely get to Gold Tier 4 without ever deranking it, okay? So just continue to play, lose, win, lose, it's fine. Like, I'm on a 3-win streak right now, and if I win 2 more times, I get Gold 3, which gives me 100 more gems, okay? Use your Nurse Burn deck. Now, once you reach Gold, you're going to fight a lot of people that can counter Nurse Burn, and my tips for you is always go first, okay? The reason why you want to go first... Well, you have a less % chance to win if you go first, but the reason you use this deck and the reason you go first is because it's not about winning and losing when doing ranked or just playing this game in general. It's about how fast you can get through games and how well you perform in the games. So let me explain, right? Whenever you play a ranked match, if you go first, you are allowed to throw down and sort through all the cards you want without your enemy reacting too much, okay? You might have a few cards from his hand he can play that can, nullify some skills, and that's fine. But if you let the enemy go first, and they are an Exodia deck, you lose. Not only do you have to watch them draw through 40 cards, you lose. Okay, and another thing too is never surrender in this game. If you surrender, or if you go AFK, the game will surrender for you, right? Even if someone is playing an Exodia deck and they're clicking a million times through their cards, always once in a while just click on the game screen and click around on the interactable stuff on the board, okay? If you don't do that, the game will think you're AFK and it will kick you out, and you won't get any experience. But the reason we use Nurse Burn on turn 1 is because we can win on as soon as their turn begins, we can just win. But if you let them go first, they're going to spend 10 to 15 minutes chain summoning 100 little bug monsters or 100 dragon maids or whatever the heck they're doing. It's going to eat up a lot of your time, and you're not going to be winning as often. And if you let them set up their board first, even though you get an extra draw, which will allow you to set up your combo more efficiently, they have a higher chance to have things on the board that can nullify your build and make you lose. So by going first, you can very quickly determine if you're going to win or not, and if you're not, you can just, end your turn with nothing on the board, let them smash you, and move on to the next game. The most time that these games take, if you have a regular deck and you play this game normally with a normal build, these matches can last 30 to 40 minutes per match. My matches last 4 to 5 minutes. So I'm able to play 7 to 8 more games with a Nurse Burn deck than with a standard deck. And I can show you how these matches play out, because this game does have a very cool replay system. So let me show you how matches play out, right? Let's see. Here's one. I'm going to show you a bad example of why I should have went first. Okay. This one is, what is this one? This one is against an Exodia deck. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it takes forever, okay? And I just want you to know, too, that this is a replay. The game does not play this. If you have not seen this game yet or played this game, it does not play this fast. Okay, I got a horrible starting hand. The enemy's, it's his turn. He's an Exodia deck. I'm going to spoil it for you. Let me turn on fast forward here. He basically draws all the way down until he has 3 cards remaining, and then he summons Exodia and I lose. So, but if I went first and I had a better starting hand, or maybe if my Magic Mallet top deck, I could have won and just blown his life points away while he's trying to summon Exodia. Which is, this deck counters Exodia builds. Exodia may have a high win rate because it's just stupid. Like, look at it. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, like, he's down to 27 cards. This is a speed run of the replay, but every player can spend up to 7 minutes at a time deciding what they want to do on the board. Now, this guy, he had a lot of thinking to do to be able to pull this combo off. He's sitting there, maybe putting down 1 card, making 1 decision, maybe once every couple minutes. I was basically just thumbing through YouTube and you know, working on YouTube stuff while he did this whole exact thing, right? This match here lasted like 30 minutes for me to not do anything and immediately die, okay? Like, he's down to 11 cards because I got the replay on, I'm skipping the animations. Yes, it does not, like I said, it doesn't go this fast. And you don't want this to happen, and all you have to do to prevent this from happening is go first. And you don't always have the choice to go first. Basically, when you enter a duel, you do a coin flip, and here he summons Exodia, which, spoiler alert, you know, Exodia, if he has it just in his hand, he wins. And again, this match took a very long time to complete, right? I can't skip this animation, it's unskippable, guys. But, you know, I forget the name of the skill, I haven't watched the anime in like 20 years, so don't hate me. But, you know, that was a waste of like 30 to 40 minutes, and you only get a little bit of experience, right, for losing. Which I should have just surrendered that, it would be more time efficient, but, like, here's a win in 2 turns, right? Which means, either I went first, or I went second, and then he dies. So, let's see how fast this goes, okay? Just to show you an example of Nurse Burn, and you don't, it's not a top deck, it's not like, oh, I have to have all the winning cards in the first hand. No, you can fish for it. In this case, I had 3 out of the 5 that I needed. So let's just speed this up. And then there we go, I just won the game. I just won the game. So out comes the reaction to Samochi, and then anything he tries to do after that, he just burns his life points down to nothing. So he's sitting there, he's doing his little flippy floppy card, mishy mashy, whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, here's a gift card. And he's like, okay. And boop, 3,000 damage. Okay, and then he puts down a card, and then I'm like, have another gift card. 3,000 damage, and then I'm like, okay, let's flip a coin. If it's heads, you heal. Too bad, you don't actually heal. Sorry, haha, boom. And the match is over in 2 minutes. And because I won in 2 minutes, and because I won without taking damage, and because I won on the second turn, and because I flawless victoried this guy, when you win this match, you get tons of rewards, okay? So I got a flawless victory reward, I got a fast completion reward, I only used spell abilities and won, so that's a reward. I didn't summon any monsters, that's a reward. He didn't get to summon any monsters, that's a reward too, killing them before they can summon anything. So what that did was that gave me like 6 or 8 of these legacy tickets to use, because whenever you win in such a way, you win these little legacy tickets, which is the only way to get the legacy packs, which you can also break down for cards, right? So, so in one match, I got almost enough for 10 packs, and well, I guess these only let you buy them in packs of 10, which is what you should do anyway. You should always, you know, at least have 20, so that if you get the ultra rare, you know, little bonus, that you can spend it, because that will go away after 1 day. But by winning in such a manner, in such a fast manner, it allows you to rank up insanely fast, and that will also allow you to acquire more gems. Now, I just want to say the gems here, they're kind of pricey. And once you get to gold rank 4, you've beaten the single player missions, and you've done, what is this, the duel pass, which goes up to 100. And basically, when you level this duel pass to 100, which this is the Nurse Burn deck that I just showed you, is a way to speed run this to level 100, okay? I played versus other players for 3 hours yesterday, and I'm level 59 for only 3 hours, okay? That means I spent like 17 hours in the single player, mostly just sticking around and learning all the new stuff, because I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! In a very long time, but by using the Nurse Burn deck, I'm able to get to level 59 in 3 hours, and from 50 to 60, it does slow down a bit. I can get about 1 to 2 levels if I win on the second turn, okay? So that means I just need to play 30 more matches, which for me is like maybe 3 to 4 more hours of game time, because my matches last 3 to 5 minutes, not 30 to 45 minutes, okay? And that allows you to get 100 on the duel pass, and once your duel pass is 100, okay, you can spend 600 gems, and it's basically free. Because you get those gems back. Where is it? Is it under special? Yeah, you go to the duel pass, it costs 600 gems, and you're going to receive 600 gems back. You're going to receive ultra rare crafting materials. You get the little pot of greed, little pet that hangs on the side of your board and giggles at people. And you get other crafting materials too. So it's basically free gems, free money, free rewards, right? Now, that's your first day. In 20 hours, I was able to achieve something like 28,000 gems in total. You can only carry 10,000 at a time. And where's it at? There's a menu that shows you how many gems. I have not made a single purchase. Record of gems obtained. Yeah, so free gems, they max out at 10,000, but anything above a certain amount will go into your gift box, so you can open it later, which is what I ended up doing, right? Now, I've spent actually quite a bit of gems. You can look through my logs here. And I've been leaving, like, ignore the game time and the days played. I've been leaving the game running. Like, I spend 1,000 at a time on the packs. I did buy way too many packs. I didn't have to buy that many packs to be able to acquire the Nurse Burn deck, but I have so much cards left over, just that I have, that I could craft, like, so many more in-game decks. I can go look up online and look at the best decks in the game to make. And I could break down these ultra rares, or I might have some that are required in the build, and then craft them. Or I can spend 8,000 gems and those 77 legacy card packs and get way more cards than I currently own. Like, look at all these cards that I have. These are super rares, okay, and then you go halfway down and it's neutrals after that. But I could open all those packs, spend those gems, and I could have something like 8 to 10 more meta decks that I can use to climb the ladder, have fun, and so on and so forth. And that's just in 20 hours. So in 20 hours, I just want to show you the price of gems for those that haven't played this yet. If you want to buy 4,950 gems, it costs $80 US, $80, okay? So what that means is that I've made $350 worth of gems in my first 20 hours. Now, if you want to continue to play this game, you won't earn as much gems because the single-player missions will be tapped out, your ranked up to Gold 4 will be tapped out, and then a lot of the gems, too, come from these missions, which the Nurse Burn deck helps you complete a whole lot of them, okay? Logging in once a day gives you a bunch of gems. The unlimited missions, gaining life points, you get this with Nurse Burn, it gives you a bunch of gems. Look, I'm about to get 200 more here in a little while. Just with maybe a couple more hours of playing, right? You get secret packs by opening the card packs. I don't remove cards or activate effects in the graveyard or summon monsters, and I don't destroy monsters, but I do everything else all the other builds don't. I activate trap cards, lots of them. I activate spell cards, lots of them. I sometimes special summon, not really often. I don't really summon. You do summon the nurse, that's about it. Ranked duels, you're going to get these unlocked very quickly. I've only done 43 ranked duels I'm Gold 4. I know that sounds pretty bad, but I did do a bunch with other decks. So yeah, you could actually get this way faster than 43, but I was dicking around with... I was trying to do, like, the dragon deck and trying to summon Blue Eyes and stuff, but I was just getting shut down on the second turn. Increased duelist levels, you just get that by playing. You're going to get all these gems. You're gonna be set on your first day if you follow this guide, okay? And just to, like, Nurse Burn is ridiculous, okay? It's just insane. Like, this one is 3 turns. What is this one? This one is 2 turns. Here's another 2-turn win. Like, let's just look at, I'm just gonna show it off one more time. This is just, I think one today that I did. This deck allows you to win immediately. It's so fast. And even if they counterplay a few of your cards, you can still blow them up because you deal so much damage and they just can't really stop it. Okay, so let's see. I get 3 out of the 5 cards I need. 4 out of the 5 cards now, and then I get 3 bonus cards on the side to just stack up with, there we go. And then there's 2 more bonus cards that I can use, and then, oh, there's another one, and then draw 2 more. Okay, let's draw another card. And what do we get? Oh, there, look at that. We have a full board on our very first turn. And I'm not saying that this happens all the time, because it doesn't. Sometimes you just get a crappy hand, your opponent fills their board with a bunch of bullcrap, and then it's over. So this guy, I think he was an Exodia deck, to be honest. I don't remember. Let me, let's see what kind of cards he pulls out. He's got Pot of Extravagance. He's putting down a bunch of crap on his board, and he's just dead. I never really get to see what what he used. But with the replay system, you can look at their decks, and that's another cool thing too, right? Which I'm just gonna talk about real fast before I end the video. And coin flips, because I have the Nurse out, always deal damage. They never heal the opponent as long as Nurse is out. So it's so fast, it's immediate. You just immediately win, and that's how you get tons of rewards. So let's see. No, that's not how to see their deck. I think you click this, and then you confirm opponent's deck. So let's see what. Oh no, he was an Eldritch deck. So these are really dangerous. They're very high in the meta. As soon as he pops these bad boys out, the game's pretty much over, right? But because I went first, I was able to kill him before he can get anything started, okay? And another cool thing too is whenever you fight someone and they have a really cool deck, you can copy it. So if you look here, that guy that beat me with the Exodia deck, here's his deck. I can literally craft this right now and play it on ranked if I want to, with almost no investment. He's got, what, 6 ultra rares? I already own 1, 2, 3 of the ultra rares just by opening a few packs. I didn't even open that many packs. So I would just be like, you know what, I want to make this deck, so I would click this, click generate, spin my points, maybe break down some of these dumb things like Duel a Worm. That looks stupid. Like, this is a dumb... Okay, maybe it's not that dumb. It's like a dragon mech. Okay, it's hard to call... It's pretty cool. But I can't dismantle it. Jeez, I'm really bad at these examples. But I would just open more packs, dismantle more things. Okay, this is a Dragon Maid. I hate this card. This card shuts down my build so fast. If you go for second and they have this card out, you basically lose. Dragon Maids suck. Don't fight Dragon Maids. But guys... First day, you're going to be set if you follow this guide. I know it might be a little confusing at first, but it gets pretty simple. Out of all the card games currently on the internet, this game is the most generous. Okay, if you try to play Hearthstone, you're going to need to spend $300 to have one meta deck. Okay, that's spending money. For Legends of Runeterra, you could probably get 1 or 2 meta decks out if you play for about a month. This game you play for 20 hours and you can have an entire handful of the best decks in the game possible for completely free. And if you want, you just make more Steam accounts, and every Steam account you make and you spend 20 hours playing, following this guide, you will have $350 worth of gems to spend on more decks. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't make $350 in 20 hours. So it's more so worth my time to just make another Steam account, do the single player grind, do the ranked to gold 4 grind, which is only 2 to 3 hours, and then be set, right? Anyway, guys, I'm Soul Benji. Thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole. I make videos every single day. This is just a game I wanted to cover real quick because it's a very fun and very good one. Very well polished. It has some of the best music in a Yu-Gi-Oh game to date. You really should check it out. It's a fast download. It runs on any computer. I'm not even sure if you can run this on a cell phone or not, but probably. So, guys, check it out. If you want to play with me, my game code is 869288873. There you go. I'm using a dartboard pet. You can throw darts at it. It's kind of cool. Ooh, bullseye. Alright, guys, I will see you tomorrow. If this video does really well and this game gets very popular, like right now there's 170,000 people playing it. That's 3 times as much as New World, which is a game I cover on my channel. If you're into MMORPGs, check those vids out. I will see you tomorrow, but if this vid gets real popular, then I will, of course, make more content. I used to be a professional Yu-Gi-Oh player when I was a teenager, though I grew up and didn't have time for children's card games. But hey, it's making a comeback, so maybe I'll come back to the scene and play it. Who knows? Anyway, guys, mwah, take care.